Hi everyone, this is Vanessa. Welcome to Collide Student Ministry Online. This is Wednesday Night Live. We hope that you have had a great week and we are excited that you are joining us. First, we would like to let you know that we are giving away a free DoorDash order at the end of broadcast. In order to enter, you need to like and comment before the video ends. We will announce the winner in the comment section at the end of broadcast, so stay tuned and good luck. All the information you need is emailed out in our newsletter each week, so check it out and let us know if you need help getting in. Thank you all for joining us. We're glad you are here. Remember to like and comment for a chance to win the prize and share this video to help others see it.
Welcome back, everybody. We're so glad you're here with us. Whenever you're watching this, we just want you to know it is an honor to be with you and to share these messages. My name is Matt. I'm the student pastor here at the church at Severn Run, and Collide Student Ministry is here to encourage you and support you. We're cheering you on and praying for you as you finish out this school year. I'm wearing my Chicago Bulls shirt. I'm really excited for just sports and spring and summer. We've got NBA championships coming up. Not that the Bulls are going to win a championship. I'm a good fan, but I'm a realistic fan. But we've got NFL drafts coming up, and we've got summertime and good weather. I don't know where you are right now, but for me, it's been a beautiful day outside, and I look forward to maybe going out and rolling around in the grass a little bit. I just like it outside, so I'm excited. So tell us in the comment section, how are you feeling about May and summertime coming up? So like on a scale of 1 to 10, are you excited for summer? 10 is super excited. 1 is no. I like the cold weather. I like snow. I like, January. And 10 would be yes, bring it on. I've got plans for the summer. So tell us 1 to 10, how excited are you for the summer? And then second question, in one word, just one word if you can, tell us how you feel about the last couple of weeks of school. Right, you guys probably have somewhere, depending on where you go, you probably have somewhere around 3 to 6 weeks left of school, which is pretty crazy. So all of you are getting close to finishing up. One word, how do you feel about the rest of your school year as it is winding down? So 1 to 10, how do you feel about summer? And then one word about how do you feel about the rest of your school year? So I'm going to throw you another question, actually 2. So 2 more questions for you to tell us in the comment section. Number 1, we're going to talk today, finish up this series with Jesus is a very best friend. Actually, Jesus is better than a best friend. So we're talking about friendship and even this deeper level of friendship we have with the person of Jesus Christ. So let me ask you this. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like maybe the Grinch that stole Christmas, 10 might be, I'm trying to think of like the happiest, like friendliest person in the world. But how friendly do you feel today? Like not how outgoing, not how introverted, just like how friendly do you feel? If like one of your friends came over and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Would you be like kind of more, would you kind of grumble and like throw rocks at them? Or would you be like, "Yes, I'm so glad you're here. I love you. I want to hang out with you. Let's go to the movies or something." Like, how friendly do you feel right now? Like, how much do you really want to be around friends on a scale of 1 to 10? So lock that in. There's no right or wrong answer. If you really are today, you're like, yeah, no, if my friends were here, I would throw rocks at them. That's okay. Let's just not stay there. Let's take some steps to, being happy around other people. But if you're not a 10, that's totally fine. Some of us like our privacy. We like being alone. But generally, you and I need to believe that we weren't created to be alone. God created us to have relationships and be together, to have friendships. And there are good friendships and healthy friendships. And then there are not healthy, not productive, kind of draining, maybe influencing you in the wrong direction friendships. But that's slightly a conversation for another day. So 1 to 10, how friendly are you feeling? And then second question, what are, we'll say 2 or 3 words you would use to describe a very, very good, maybe best friend or just like a very good friend? 2 or 3 words you would use to describe a very good or best friend. So tell us that in the comment section as well. You guys can share answers, borrow answers, but just be honest. What's something you're looking for in a very best friend? Maybe you might type like, they're a billionaire, or maybe you might type they're a good chef, or maybe you might type that they're trustworthy or funny, or they support you, or whatever. Just 2 or 3 things about a really good best friend, and then tell us what you think. Because we are talking about friendship today, and if we were going to, rest our heart and our soul and mind in this idea that Jesus is a best friend, even better than a best friend, what would that mean for you? What would that mean for me? What would it mean for your friends and family? If the person who is God, who is our Savior, who is the truth, actually wants to be a friend, a best friend, and even more than a friend, right? Like, what does that mean for us? Jesus is a wonderful example of friendship, and as we look at who he is, and the more time that we actually allow ourselves to understand who Jesus is, read his words, read his stories in the Bible, the more we see how amazing of a friend Jesus is. He's the greatest friend ever. And there's a lot of complicated things that happen when you're in a friendship. You know, the Bible invites us to be sad with each other when they're sad. You know, if your friend is hurting, you can be with them and comfort them and support them. I don't know about you, but I've had friends that when I'm hurt or nervous, they like would make fun of me or like, you know, kind of dump on to that feeling and I wouldn't feel better. But I've also had friends who just understood, like, if I don't feel good, if I'm anxious, if I'm physically hurt, then they can support me and be with me in those times. Jesus had a lot of friendships and he cared for a lot of people. So I'm gonna look at Matthew chapter 14. There's actually 3 really amazing stories in this chapter, and most of the time we tell these stories separately. We tell these stories in 3 different things, but all 3 of these tell us a lot about who Jesus is and what his friendship is like. So it starts off really sad. It starts off heartbreaking, actually. Jesus has a really great friend, someone that he cares for a lot, very deeply, named John the Baptist. And Matthew chapter 14 actually begins with the story of John the Baptist is he's put in prison because the rulers in that area don't like him. They don't like what he talks about. They don't like that he, you know, preaches the truth about God. And John the Baptist is basically what he did. You know, people followed him, and he was an amazing teacher and a prophet, and he was not well liked by the local government. So they arrest him, and then kind of, just long story short, there's this weird party, and a couple people at the party really want him killed, and so something happens, and at the end of the story, John the Baptist is actually murdered. He's killed by the local government. So Jesus finds out about this, and he withdrew himself privately, it says, to a solitary place in Matthew 13, verse 13. So Jesus finds out his friend died, was murdered, and Jesus wants to go be alone because he cares. He has emotions. He has feelings. Jesus is heartbroken that his friend is murdered. So he's going off to be alone. He wants to be by himself. But this crowd of people hears, oh, Jesus is in town. Oh, he's over there by himself. Let's go find him. And this massive crowd of people, they leave the town and they come and they find Jesus. In verse 14, Jesus, who is hurting, he's sad, he's like gone to go be by himself. It says that he has compassion. And again, verse 14, Jesus saw the large crowd and he had compassion on them and he healed their sick. You know, he's just that's who Jesus is. He's the guy that, like, I'm hurting, I'm tired, I just want to kind of have a little bit of time, and then he sees the people who are hurting and sick and says, you know what, I'm here. What can I do? How can I help you? How can I serve you and love you? That's who Jesus is. And the disciples, they came and said, hey, there's all these people here, and now you might know what the story this is now. There's all these people here, we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. There's no food. Like, what do we need to do? And Jesus says, oh, you let the people stay. We'll feed them. They said, oh, we only have a couple, like 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And this is that story where Jesus feeds 5,000 people with just a couple loaves and a couple fish. So he goes from one of his best friends is murdered to I'm going to take care, heal the sick, and I'm going to feed 5,000 people. And the people are fed. And now they're ready to go home and leave. And again, Jesus is still like, I'm still looking for that like time to kind of go off by myself. So he sends his disciples ahead and says, I'll meet you guys later. I kind of want to have some alone time again. So Jesus gets to go and have that alone time. The disciples, meanwhile, go up on a boat and they get into the water, leaving Jesus behind. And this gets into another story that's really crazy. But shortly before dawn, while there's this massive storm comes in. All right, so it's still dark outside. The sun hasn't come up yet. There's this crazy storm comes in over the water, and the waves and the wind are beating, just messing this little boat up, and everyone on the boat's thinking they're going to die. And Jesus all of a sudden starts walking on the water in the middle of this storm. And the disciples, they cry out in fear and say, "It's a ghost. It's a ghost." Right? I couldn't imagine. Like, you already think you're going to die because of this storm, and then there's Jesus walking out in the water, and they think it's a ghost. But, verse 27, Jesus immediately says, "Take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid." Peter recognizes the voice of a friend. So in this crazy, scary situation, Jesus is there with them. They don't see it, but Peter hears a voice that he recognizes. He hears the voice of his friend. And so Peter says, "Lord, if it's you, call me and tell me to come out into the water." Jesus says, "Come on." Peter got down off the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink. "Lord, save me," he cries out. Immediately Jesus reached out his hand, caught him. "Ye of little faith, why did you doubt?" We've talked about this story before, and we've talked about some of the meaning of it, but just kind of the flow of all of this. Jesus cares and is hurt when his friend is murdered. Of course he is. Like, he loves John the Baptist. And even in his pain, Jesus sees people and says, "I'll heal you, I'll take care of you, and I'm going to feed you a meal." And then he takes the alone time that he needs, but when his disciples are in trouble, when they're scared, he's there for them. And he calls out to them, and they recognize his voice. Yes, just to think about that, and that's kind of where we're going to start to wrap up this story. Jesus is a friend. Jesus cares. He's a best friend because whatever it is that you need, Jesus wants to give it to you. When the people needed healing, Jesus gave them healing. When the people needed food, he gave them food. When his disciples were alone and scared, Jesus came to them in the storm and said, "You can trust me. I am here." And obviously the storm, after Jesus commanded, the storm went away. In all of these moments, Jesus was there for them and wanted to give them everything they needed. And he takes it to the very next level when Jesus is having this conversation right before he gets arrested and crucified. He tells them this truth. He says, "My command as your friend is to love each other as I have loved you." This is in John chapter 15. "Love each other as I have loved you. Because greater love, greater friendship has no one greater than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." The greatest act of friendship, the greatest act of love is to give yourself and give your life for another person. "You are my friends, and if you do what I command, then I'm no longer to call you servants, because a servant just does whatever the master tells them to. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I have learned from my Father in heaven, I am sharing with you. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and I appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last, so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. So this is my command, to love each other." The love of a friend, the very, very best friend. I don't know what words, I can't see the screen at the moment, you wrote to describe what a best or very good friend is. But Jesus insists to us that the greatest thing a friend can do is to love them. And Jesus loved John the Baptist, and so he mourned and cried and had all this compassion and love for John. And he loved the people who were sick, so he healed them. And he loved the people who were hungry, so he fed them. And he loved the disciples who were scared, and he came and comforted them. And greater than anything is that Jesus loved you so much, and the greatest thing that a best friend could ever do is to lovingly sacrifice themselves for another person. And that's exactly what Jesus did. Jesus came and loved you so much. The whole mission of why he was here, for Jesus to be God, to be our Savior, to be the truth, was to come from heaven to earth, and then to willingly and lovingly place himself on the cross instead of us, to die for our sins instead of you and for me, so that Jesus can say with all sincerity and truth that I am the best friend that you could ever ask for. I will give you what you asked for. It may not be the right timing in your mind. It may not even be exactly what you asked for, but I'm going to give you what you really need. And right now in this moment, this little itty bitty time that we've been here, you and I have experienced hard things. You guys, we have been in need, we have been scared, we have experienced things, and we have not been alone. God sees you, he knows you, and he loves you. And in all of this, there is a voice calling out to you. And the more you get to know and understand and build a relationship with Jesus, the more that you will discover and know that voice. You know, when Peter's scared on the boat and he hears the voice of his friend, he knows immediately who that is. And when Jesus is telling them right now that true love, true friendship is to give your life for someone else, and just for you guys to think about that, this is not saying you need to literally give your life and take your life for your friends. I mean, your friends don't need you to die on the cross for their sins. Jesus did that, right? So for us to live our life for someone else is what Jesus says, to love each other. So you don't need to die on the cross for someone's sins. Jesus did that. You don't need to literally take your life to give it to someone. You can live your life, live your love for other people. And that's the question for us. If Jesus is our best friend, what does that mean for us? And he's more than that. He's our Savior. He's God. He's the truth. He's more and better than a best friend. And he's asking you to love the world around you, love your friends and family the way that he loves you. Not that you need to go die on the cross for people's sins, but if Jesus came to cry with those who are crying, to cheer for those who are cheering, to heal those who are sick and feed those who are hungry, and to comfort people who are scared, Jesus is the best friend ever. And he's inviting you to be a good friend as well. So what could it look like for you to live out love for the people around you? Hope you guys have enjoyed this series, and I hope you know that we are going to continue to talk about Jesus, but we're going to do it in a new series and a slightly new topic next month. So we hope you join us next Wednesday night as we kick off our May 2021 series. Until then, we love you guys, and we'll see you again soon.
In the morning, when I rise, in the morning, when I rise, in the morning, when I rise, give me Jesus, give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. You can have all this world. Just give me Jesus. When I am alone, when I am alone, oh, when I am alone, give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. You can have all this world. Just give me Jesus. When I come to die, when I come to die, oh, when I come to die, just give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. You can have all this world. Just give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. You can have all this world. You can have all this world. Just give me Jesus.
Give me you. Everything else can wait. Give me you. I hope I'm not too late. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Oh Lord, give me you. Give me you. Everything else can wait. Give me you. I hope I'm not too late. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Oh, Lord, give me you. 'Cause it's me, oh Lord. I'm on my knees. I'm crying out to you. And it's me, oh Lord. I'm on my knees. Give me you. Give me you. Give me you. Everything else can wait. Give me you. Hope I'm not too late. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Oh, Lord, give me you. Give me you. Give me you. Oh, everything else can wait. Just give me you. Oh, I hope I'm not too late. Lord, give me you. Oh, Lord, give me you. Oh, Lord, I need you every hour. Oh, Lord, give me you. Yeah, give me you.
All right, friends, hope you guys had a great night. Thank you again for joining us. We hope you all have a fantastic week. Don't forget, we will be back next Wednesday night, same time and same place. We're kicking off a new series in the month of May. It is called The Haves and the Have-Nots. So it's going to be a great time. We hope you join us. Invite a friend. Don't forget to check the comments in this live stream for our weekly DoorDash prize winner. I'm sorry that did not get posted last week. If we ever miss anything, you can always check the comment section on the actual video itself. Last week's winner was Lily, so congrats to her. This week's winner, you should be able to see right now live in our comments. If for any reason it's not there, check the actual comments on the YouTube video itself or Facebook video itself. We just enjoy what we get to do with you guys every week. Hope you know that we are praying for you and we're cheering for you as you finish the school year. We've got some new things coming up for Clyde Student Ministry, so make sure you are following us on social media. We are going to be back in action on Sunday mornings. So what that means is if you come and join us here at the building at the 9:30 or 11 o'clock service, we're going to have a table in our lobby area where you can come and meet us. And then when the service starts, you can either go sit in the service together and enjoy our worship service, because our worship team and our teaching teams and everyone on stage is awesome. There's a great group of people in there, and this church and church service is for you. We are also going to have some student ministry gatherings upstairs, and what we would like you to do is come meet us in the lobby, and then either go into the worship service or follow us upstairs, and we're going to hang out, do some Bible studies, and pray together and have some fun together in there as well. So there's 2 services, so if you're ever able to, you could always go into a worship service 1 hour, and then the other hour hang out with us upstairs. And then also there's some really great ways we'd love to see you guys get involved, because you have talent, you have leadership, you have skills, you have things that our church needs. So if you're ever interested and you want to learn more about being on stage, singing or playing an instrument, if you want to learn about the tech booth, about how to help and volunteer and lead in kids ministry or our welcome ministry or even student ministry, please let us know, because we'd love to help you do that. I think I mentioned there's some events coming up, so make sure you're keeping an eye out on that for our next worship workshop. We're going to have another bonfire night, and we're looking to do laser tag and roller skating again soon as well. So keep an eye on our social media. Let us know if you have any questions, and we hope to see you again next week. See you later.